So if you've been around any of my recent videos, you know that I'm on the quest for a camera that's gonna work better for me and my workflow. Most of what I'm doing right now is YouTube, real estate stuff, tutorials, interviews, which I know a lot of you guys are doing too. So I decided maybe what I actually need instead of a cinema camera is a hybrid camera that's better than my EOS R. So what I'm filming on right now is the R6, and I'm going to be comparing it in this video to my EOS R to see, is it better, is it worse, how are the ergonomics, how does the color look, how does the pictures look, how does the video look. So we'll see. So one of the first things that I'm noticing about this camera is that the ergonomics are much more photo oriented. So the body's a little chunkier, it's a little bit heavier duty feeling, and it's got the dual card memory slots. So if you're a photographer, you know that shooting events, shooting weddings, whatever, you need those dual memory card slots just to be safe. We talked about backups in the last video, and you definitely want as much redundancy as possible if you're doing things that can't be remade. I really like that it has the joystick. I used to have that on my old camera, and the EOS R does not have that. It's been fine, but I definitely prefer it. It doesn't have the touch bar, which I normally use for color balance, and so instead I've got my control dial ring behind the lens set for that. The only downside is that the screen is a little bit smaller, but it looks great. So no real complaints. It probably saves on battery life a little bit too. So one of the biggest reasons that I'm excited about trying out this camera is the 10-bit uncropped 4K full frame coverage. So if you're new to videography, you might not know this, but basically a lot of cameras are 8-bit, including my EOS R. So what that means is that there are 256 colors, variations per color. So like for blue, for red, for yellow, etc. And for 10-bit, there's 1,026 different variations. So when you're adding up all your different colors, 8-bit is 16.7 million colors, and 10-bit is 1.07 billion colors. So imagine how much extra room that's going to give you in editing down your colors in post in 4K full frame, no crop. That's pretty amazing. So I'm excited to see how much better this footage is actually going to be. I don't know about you guys, but for me, the in-body image stabilization is a huge upgrade from the EOS R to the R6 that I'm interested in for photography and videography. For photography, it lets you do slower shutter speeds and still get crispy, clean shots. So that's great if you're in low light situations or if you just need that. For video, it's pretty self-explanatory. You're not gonna have to use a gimbal as often, and it's gonna save you time speeding up your workflow, which is really important for me. The only downside that I'm seeing for this is that the video corners do get a little bit wobbly. So overall, it's pretty much the same usability as the EOS R. It's super easy to use. It has a few benefits like the click wheel, the joystick, and the image stabilization that are going to really benefit you for photography especially, and somewhat for video. IBIS is great, but I'd be careful to use it too much because of the wobbles. It's a little bit problematic. Even if there are wobbles, the footage is probably a little bit more watchable than if you don't have it. It's a little bit windy here. I gotta move. Probably the biggest drawback for me on my EOS R and why I don't really love it anymore, it's still a great camera. It can do pretty much any type of project, photo or video with super high quality. But having the 8-bit, not 10-bit, really limits you with your color grading. It really adds in a lot of unnecessary noise to your image. And not being able to have 4K full frame has been a real issue for me because I'm trying to do higher quality stuff, and it kind of has its limit, which is really, really good, but I want to be up here, like really, really, really good. So that's why I've been really thinking about getting a different camera, and I've been renting them to test them out to see what actually works for me and my workflow and how I like to shoot things. And I haven't edited all the footage yet, but it might be hard for me to say no to a camera like this or hold on for a little bit to see what's going to be the next generation that Canon releases, because their mirrorless lineup is still pretty new. I think that overall this camera is great for photos. The 20 megapixels is still plenty enough, and it's definitely better for video than the EOS R. It looks super clean, it looks great. You got the 10-bit, 4K, full frame. You're gonna be good to go for a long time. Let me know what you guys think about the footage, the photos, the video, how the test came out. Super curious what you guys are using. Let me know what questions you guys have that I might not have covered in the comments. I actually might start making Q&A videos to start responding to more comments that way, as opposed to just typing everything. I figured it might be more fun to make some video responses because it's a little more interactive. You know, I don't want to just be like behind a keyboard. I'm a real person, and I want to like be more like I'm hanging out with you guys. So let me know if you guys would be into that or not. But anyways, I hope you guys liked this video. Hopefully I got enough tests in there to give you guys some good perspective through what I'm thinking about that can hopefully help you guys think through this stuff too. That's pretty much it. If you guys liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.